Hello students, we will discuss a very important topic today, which is on ebooks and e-journals. Now, let us try to look at the electronic publishing industry. In the days of information society, the traditional book is not the only source of information anymore. The electronic publications which came into the new technologies create basis for fast and high quality information, convenient storage, search and copying possibilities decide the strength of this new media. Electronic publication is arranged computer information. In electronic publishing or e-publishing, material is produced and stored electronically rather than in print. Whenever users display, present or post any written, auditory or visual media onto the World Wide Web, it can be said that they are publishing electronic content. The most traditional newspapers and magazines today publish in an electronic form on the web, where access is typically free or available through a free membership. Providing electronic text versions of previously published work, such as classic literature, non-copyrighted material, or works that have entered the public domain, either online or on CD-ROM, or offering an electronic version of a book that is simultaneously being produced in print. Some of the features of electronic publishing are convenient in navigation, information control, search possibilities, identification number like ISSN number, ISBN, DOI number, that is document identification number. Electronic publications are being registered in ISSN and ISBN agencies already. They have to be registered independently from their traditionally published analog. Reading electronic publications, according to the data of one of the biggest and most important search companies like Nielsen Media Research, where books and information 9.2 million users, CDs and videos around 7.2 million users, and computers is around 5.4 million users. Some of the advantages of e-publishing has an important advantages compared with the traditional print publishing. It is a lot of easier if it is required to learn or publish electronically, and necessary equipment can be obtained without difficulties. It is much faster. It can take months to publish a traditional paper book. It is possible to publish electronically in days or even in hours. It is less expensive. Once you have software and knowledge necessary for work, you can publish lots of various materials without almost any additional cost. It can use multimedia and varying format options. An electronic book or e-journal can have a variety of multimedia elements to add to the experience. Such elements might include the music, graphics, animation, audio, or interactivity clickable features. Downloadable formats for hand readers often include the different fonts, a highlighter, post-it notes, a clickable table of contents, and bookmarking capabilities. In fact, these capabilities are now very easily be free available on the websites, and one can easily use in this desktop machine also. It will be available internationally. Electronic editions can be accessed from any part of the world and read from any computer connected to the internet. In fact, one of the important, is that it is accessibility 24/7. So that's another important thing to it. Now, there are certain limitations. Consumers' reluctance to read online. While the popularity of ebooks and e-journal is growing steadily, many consumers are still reluctant to read on screen because it put a lot of stress on your eyes, or to add the cost of printing a book on one's paper and with one's toner, regardless of age, gender, or experience. Almost everyone finds it more difficult to read from a screen than from paper. The most important issues are the ability of the eye and brain to identify and acquire information appears to work far more effectively when allied to a physical contact. Starting at a screen for any length of time induces considerable greater eye strain that does reading a book for the same period. Many people, even very experienced computer users, feel happier with a physical and readable copy of what is stored in a computer system in case something happens to the version displayed on the screen. Relatively few desktop computers and virtually no portable computers can display text at a size which is comfortable to read. It results in extensive scrolling of text which appears to be a particularly unsettling the process compared with the scrolling of the eye over. A fixed page of the text on one of the ways to solve this problem is rise of a new technology, so called it as a handheld readers. Several companies now manufacture electronic book readers that are size of a traditional printing book and display a digital version of the e-book on a flat screen or pair of screens. Organizations of electronic publishers, if you are interested in electronic publishing, and especially if you are publishing electronically, visit websites of electronic publishers organizations. Here you can find a useful information, suggestions, and support. Like, for example, electronically published internet connections, which is www.eclectics.com. It provides a lot of information on that. Association of Electronic Publishers also provide, and Internet Professional Publishers Associations also. Now, electronic books, there are quite a lot of discussions about what exactly can be called the electronic book. But for this purpose, let's define electronic book as any book which can be downloaded and read on a computer or a special reader. The publishing work is in a state of flux at the moment concerning the future of books, although there is an almost universal agreement that the future of books involves the electronic format in one way or the other. Ebooks form the first electronic publications were distributed on floppy disk, and now they are usually presented on CD-ROMs and the internet. Many ebooks are self-contained executable files of HTML, which are completely interactive with the internet and can obtain live links, graphics, search capabilities, JavaScript, embedded video, can be protected via password, user ID, and more. The HTML may be a website or an HTML specially prepared to be compiled into a downloadable executable file for distribution. When downloaded, this file self-installing on client's desktop. When a user double clicks on this computer file, a browser-like interface opens up with the cover page for the ebook and then links to an index page. Through an ebooks index, it is possible to present the readers with a table of contents or a list of topics from which they can select the pages they want to read in just a few mouse clicks. Editor of electronic books has total control over his work. Person can be publisher, distributor, and bookshop owner at the same time. The cost of publishing electronic books is virtually none when compared to its real-world counterpart. Once you have the tools, creating an unlimited number of ebooks costs nothing. There are no delivery costs, no mailing, no postage, no handling, no printing cost. The ebook can be available all around the world. The categories of electronic book publishing, that is commercial e-publishing, electronic publishing industry can be divided into three basic categories: the commercial and the subsidy ones. Commercial e-publishers function like commercial print publishers. Manuscripts are accepted on the basis of quality and marketability and go through a process of review, editing, and proofreading before publications. Most commercial e-publishers accept fewer 10% of submissions. Writers pay no fee for publication and receive royalties. Commercially published ebooks are sold primarily through the publisher's website, but are available on most online bookstores, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Flipkart, etc. Distribution in traditional bookstores, however, it is still limited. However, as all ebooks have ISBN, they can be ordered through any bookstore also. Subsidy e-publishing. Subsidy e-publisher produce and distribute books for a fee, although receive a royalty which is usually comparable to that offered by a commercial e-publisher. Unlike commercial e-publishers, subsidy publishers provide light screening except for offensive content such as pornography or hate material, and usually accept any manuscript regardless of quality. Most subsidy publishers provide no editorial services or proofreading. Through some other such services such as extra fee, books are posted exactly as submitted. Subsidy publishers also offer few promotional services. The responsibility for promoting a book rests primarily with the author. Like commercially published ebooks, subsidy published ebooks are available through most online bookstores, but very rarely found in traditional bookstores. However, like commercially published ebooks, they have ISBNs and can be ordered from any bookstore. Types of ebooks. Email, it is the simplest way to distribute your work. Just copy the text of your book into an email message and send it wherever you get a request. If you don't want to be bothered with responding to individual requests, you can even set it up to go onto an autoresponder if that's a feature available through your web host. The advantages are easy to create and send on demand. Disadvantages: limited text formatting and graphic capabilities. Email message can be large and widely, hard to read, requires reader to view on screen or print a paper copy. HTML, if you know the HTML or you have a good web authoring program, you can publish your book as an attractive web page or series of web pages. You can also put your book online as a plain text file, although that's less attractive and eliminates your ability to use graphics and hyperlinks, etc. Some of the other formats are like PDF, post document format. With PDF, you essentially create a digital photo book of your final book design. Readers across various computer platforms see the text, layout, and graphic just as you created them. As long as they have a copy of Acrobat Reader to review your book, just upload the PDF file to your website and give readers a link or simply a file name they can access to download your book. The advantages are this format allows print quality text formatting graphic design, can look and feel more like a print book with a fully designed cover, page numbers, index, etc. Can include the hyperlinks, searchable features, and bookmark note-making capabilities, etc. Acrobat makes your ebook perfectly formatted on the customer screen. The disadvantages are requires readers to own or download Acrobat Reader through its free and can be obtained at Adobe's website like www.adobe.com. Requires reader to view on screen or print a paper. Requires use of a separate program such as Adobe Acrobat or Adobe PageMaker to design your book. Can be a large file capturing long download file. The learning curve for the Adobe Acrobat is difficult to master for the graphically challenged. Electronic book reader. In many of the libraries, we have the electronic book readers also, like in Terry, we have electronic book readers. Several companies now manufacture electronic book readers, and that are the size of a traditional print book and weigh a couple of pounds. Powered by batteries with a life of several hours, these readers display a digital version of your book on a flat screen or pair of screens. Users can turn pages electronically, bookmark passages, and even make notes as they read. In case of books formatted by handheld e-readers like Softbooks, Rocketbooks, the Libris Millennium ebook reader, etc., books may be available through a retailer such as Barnes & Noble and downloaded directly to the e-reader. Some of the advantages are immediately portable, allows near print quality text formatting and graphic design, usually backlit to allow reading even in the dark. The disadvantages is special reading equipment is indispensable. Without that, you cannot do it. Now, creating an ebook. One of the options is to create an ebook as an HTML file. This method gives you the opportunity to make your ebook a multimedia production with animation, audio, video, etc. Such ebooks can be presented in two ways. Two basic steps are there: to create a book as a web page or a series of web pages, to transform these web pages into executable files. Basic steps in the creation of ebooks. If you have a working knowledge of HTML, it means if you can create a simple web page using only a text editor and a browser, you can also know that software you would prefer for creating HTML files. If not, you can try a what you see is what you get HTML editors. It's a very popular editor such as Microsoft Front Page or Netscape Composer for creating the HTML files. Both of these HTML editors can use as a word processor or can use as a Microsoft Word program. Most modern word processors possess the ability to export a document to HTML format. Once you have HTML pages readily, you can transform them into ebooks. This process is called compiling. Compiling is the process when a computer translates code written in a computer language into an executable form, and is quite easy to do with the special software. The HTML compiler compresses normal of HTML files into a self-extracting executable file. Anyone can download and view ebooks produced with any computer software using any internet browser. There are many programs for compiling HTML files and exe files. Resources for ebook creation like Hypermaker HTML file, NeoBook, eDitor, eBook Wizard, and many others. In fact, in the website, if you find number of them software are available like ebookcompilers.com. Once your book has been created, the next thing you need to do is to make it a download ready. This means that you will have to shrink ebooks file size so that it downloads quickly into the customer's computer. WinZip is a popular compression program which makes this task easy. You choose the files you want to compress and the software does the rest. The file then will have a name like myebooks.zip. So that's the zipping the file into a much more small downloadable form. PDF of e-resources. The Adobe Portable Document Format or PDF is one of the very popular formats that preserve the formatting of the text regardless of the type of machine being used. And it has become an industry standard for the distribution of documents in electronic format. With a free viewer application like Acrobat Reader, anyone can display any print PDF files from their computer. Documents in PDF format look just like the printed page. The easiest way to create the Adobe PDF files is to use the Adobe Acrobat program. Acrobat lets you to convert any document, including entire websites, into an Adobe portable document format, that is PDF file, with its original appearance preserved, and then distribute it for viewing and printing on any system. Adobe PDF files can have hyperlinks and indexes, making them a convenient way of reading for those that choose not to print and the publications. There are also new security features being introduced by Adobe to help protect document rights and authorize distribution. PDF files can be published and distributed anywhere. Rocket eBook. The Rocket eBook is one of the new handheld book readers, which provides an easy and portable way to read the ebooks. Rocket eBook is lightweight and includes good backlighting for night lighting reading. With a long battery life and large amounts of storage, it can store thousands of pages of text at once. Rocket eBook supports hypertext navigations and the play of small sound files. Rocket eBook includes software that will convert a text document or HTML web page into a Rocket edition format. You simply convert it into the Rocket Writer software, then you can place a hyperlink into your electronic book and allow them to download from your website or publish them in the Rocket Library. The Rocket Library is a collection of freely downloadable Rocket editions covering a wide range of topics and subject matter. It's free to register and you can submit as much content as you choose. The websites of the ebooks, there are lots of sites on the web with collection of various electronic books. Several examples are the online books page. It is a directory of ebooks that can freely read on the internet. It includes an index of thousands of online books on the internet, pointers to significant directories, and archives of online text, special exhibits, and much more. Prize-winning books online. In this exhibit, you will find electronic copies of awarded books. The Internet Public Library Reading Room. This room contains bookshelves for browsing and searching, for entertaining reading, and links to sites providing all other full texts. Barnes & Noble ebook store. If you want to know more about ebooks or start shopping, this is the place to be, and you can find an n number of books to purchase. EbookNet brings you the web's most comprehensive ebook industry news, tips for writers and publishers, listings and reviews or the latest ebooks, vibrant community discussions about the ebook business. E-journals. We can find thousands of various newspapers and journals on the internet today, and their number is increasing at an incremental rate. According to the results of the survey by one of the most biggest sociological research companies like Lithuania, SIC Gallup Media, Electronic press is popular. 20% of the internet users from Lithuania are reading Lithuanian internet publications and 9% non-Lithuanian publications. Data of the same survey shows that the users like electronic publications because they are free. This is opinion of the 35% of all the respondents. Their old volumes are available, 30%. They present news more traditionally than traditional media, 25%. They enable searching by 16%. The tendencies in other countries are also in the same line. Characteristics of e-journals. E-journals are serial publications available in digital format. Some electronic journals can be distributed on CD-ROMs, but usually they are located on the web. Of the internet available ones, some are delivered over the World Wide Web, some by email. Electronic journals can be free or available by subscription only. The e-journals can differ by their format. Some e-journals are ASCII text, some are HTML like www pages, and some use proprietary formats such as Adobe's PDF and all. The e-journals were distributed on CD-ROMs or diskettes during the 1970s and were largely used in the library. The early efforts at network distribution predated the World Wide Web. In 1987, New Horizons in Adult Education, the first peer-reviewed journal distributed on the internet, made its debut published by the Syracuse University of Kellogg project. It was ASCII text, free, and distributed via the Bitnet list server with printed copies mailed to those who had no free access to Bitnet. The first peer-reviewed electronic full-text e-journal, including graphics, was OJCCT, that is Online Journal of Current Clinical Trials, first time published in 1992. It required specialized viewing software such as www didn't exist yet. In 1993, JSTOR, Journal Storage Project, got underway as the first major retrospective electronic archiving project of printed journals. The same year, buffers became the ubiquitous and changed everybody's idea of how publication should be delivered. But they were quickly replaced by the www, that is the internet, which gained a strong foothold in academia in 1994. And now we assume that e-journals will be delivered via the www or internet. There are two basic types of e-journals. Parallel published journals with both printed and electronic versions available to the public. This can be divided into two or more types: electronic clones of published on paper journals and electronic journals with published on paper copies. Electronic journals only where there is an electronic version. The print option being available on demand. The salient features of electronic journals available on the web: they can be delivered to the desktop. They can be read by more than one person at a time. Identifiers of e-journals. The library and publishing board has always been maintained identification schemes for locating and tracking these titles, including LCCN, ISBN, ISSN, and call numbers. Identifying an individual print item such as journal issues or articles has been more difficult, but the identifier can still be linked to a physical piece. In the online world, identifying items becomes more difficult because the items are no longer physically tied together, bound as if it were. Individual journal articles need to be identified as digital objects. In fact, the article itself may consist of a number of digital objects like text, images, sound bites, links to citations, and etc. Licensing, pricing, and intellectual property rights. A major area of concern of libraries and publishers alike in the licensing of e-journals. Licensing, pricing, and intellectual property rights management and access management, the control of user access to online journals, are inextricably bound up because the price and the access restrictions are or should be included in the license agreement. The very idea of a license agreement to journal content is a new concept. When libraries bought printed journals, they paid their money and got their paper, which they then owned and bound, archived, and sent out for interlibrary loan placed on reserve, and from which users photocopied single copies of single articles in accordance with their fair use copyright law. Now, because electronic copy is so duplicated and distributed, it has become more difficult to protect profits by restricting access, and producers of information are requiring licenses to content. Publishers and consumers now enter into license agreements that regulate the ways in which the content may be used. and by whom, but it can be difficult to navigate the variety of licenses that are proposed. E-resources pricing mechanisms. Pricing has long been a major issue in the journal marketplace, but it takes on new importance for electronic media because there are no precedents for price models in the online world. Because there are no print costs, the bulk of the publication expense resides in the production of the initial copy of an electronic work and in its storage. Subsequent copies are produced at negligible cost, throwing existing print pricing paradigms into confusion. Libraries and academics have taken matters into their own hands with the formation of SPARC, the Scholarly Publishing and Academic Resource Coalition, an academic initiative of the Association of Research Library, that is ARL, whose stated aims are to create a competitive marketplace, ensure fair use of electronic resources, and apply technology to improve the process of scholarly communication and to reduce the cost of production and distribution. This was taken even from the SPARC model by forging alliances between the educational organizations, the professional societies. And the expected outcome of this initiative is in high quality scholarly journals, both print and electronic, at lower prices than commercial publishers currently offering to the users. Benefits of collections, it is, I'm sure it is all known to all of you. Unlimited 24/7 access, access to the full range of books, including monographs, textbooks, handbooks, and reference books, seamlessly integrated with Springer journals, searchable by keywords, no DRM, digital rights management, access to over 2,000 ebooks, more than 150 new titles per year, and art sciences ebooks. There is a very interesting model of My Copy, available to Springer Lin's IP-enabled ebook gateway. Libraries and corporations can offer their patrons online access to the most worthwhile books instantly from multiple locations, including library, office, home, or wherever they are. Springer's ebook collection uses the portability, searchability, and unparalleled use of access of PDF and HTML data formats to make access for researchers as convenient as possible. Springer's ebook collections offer accurate reproductions of high-quality Springer print book collections, together with all the added benefits of an online environment, including exceptional search capabilities and bookmarks. E-journals and ebooks versus the e-journals and ebooks portals. E-journals and ebooks are called by various names such as e-journal, electronic journals, internet-based serials, online journals, e-serials, electronic serials, ebooks, and electronic. It's the same thing, but it has got a different nomenclature. But the term e-journal and ebooks has become a standard name for calling the electronic journals. Jones in 1998 defined the e-journals. They are available electronically via a computer or a computer network, that they may or may not be published in some other physical form. But they are not CD-ROM or diskettes. Lancaster in 1995 defined that an electronic journal is created for the electronic medium and is available only in this medium. In general, the e-journal can be defined as a journal that is available in electronic form through online host called e-journal. E-journals and ebooks portals. E-portal is a mechanism that filters the overwhelming amount of information and provides a fast, easy, and consistent way to get relevant information on a cost-effective way to disseminate the critical information to users at the right time. E-journal and ebooks portal integrates, captures, and manages various e-journals published through various publishers at various places at a single web portal. In other words, e-journals and ebooks portal is a single shop gateway for subscribing all kinds of e-journals worldwide. The features of e-journals and e-portals, they can be delivered to the desktop. More than one person can read them at a time. Entire text can be searched. They can be include multimedia and graphics in color at marginal cost. They can publish more quickly and than paper publications. They can be interactive. They can foster an online exchange of ideas by email. They can make use of hyperlinks. Articles can be retrieved directly through links and abstracting indexing databases, and the content can be reproduced and forwarded and modified. E-journal and ebooks portal. E-journal and ebooks portal are the data warehouse of full text and bibliographic records of e-journals and ebooks. E-journal and ebook portal enhance the personalized selection of e-journals books and their contents. They provide access to integrated set of users. They facilitate an intuitive access method for retrieving relevant information. They enable the users to access any required information without having to its location, format, or access methods. They provide reliable, up-to-date, and relevant information at an affordable cost. They provide internet options for further extending access of e-journals and ebooks within organization. They provide an opportunity to users to hyperlink other e-journals and ebooks freely available on the internet. They provide quick and easy access to a myriad of data and systems to retrieve only the content needed for specific requirements. Access to e-journals and ebooks. In order to make the maximum use of e-journals, ebooks, and access options, one has to be very careful in subscribing the e-journals, ebooks about various IT issues and formats, availability such as HTML, PDF, and HTML, because they acquired specific application program for reading, retrieving, and downloading the contents. Access to e-journals and ebooks is provided either by the publisher themselves or through the e-journals and ebook portals. The libraries and information centers scattered the information and reference needs to a variety of users in different disciplines, which indeed is tedious and problematic task to subscribe to all e-journals in all the fields of knowledge for libraries. Therefore, to avoid the inconvenience of subscribing the e-journals through various publishers, e-journal portals are the best option for subscribing unlimited number of e-journal books published to various publishers at a single gateway. There are many e-journal and ebook portals providing access to various different e-journals, ebooks, ranging from bibliographic data to full text retrieval. The following are some of the popular e-journals, ebook portals for ISD Wipro technologies, which is rendering their effective services to the user by using these portal devices. Another is ebrary. It is a technical and business ebooks are more high with ebrary's perpetual access offering. Libraries can pick and choose among titles from leading publishers, creating a custom database of online journal books that have significant advantages over static downloadable ebook products. ebrary's perpetual access titles can be cross-referenced, are full text searchable, and do not require checkout or check-in, and there are no cumbersome document downloads required. The key features of ebrary ebooks portal: the ebrary reader software delivers pages to a patron's desktop page by page, eliminating cumbersome document downloads. Info tool software gives every document word level interaction. Just select a word or phrase of interest, then instantly link to the other resources in the library. The DCP are on the way without losing your place of reference. Multiple search options, including simple, advanced, full text, keyword, Boolean, and proximity search. Personal bookshelves automatically archive, highlights, notes, and bookmarks. Copying and printing text with customizable automatic citations. Automatic customizable citations, including URL hyperlink to the exact page from which the information was gathered. Integration with ILG systems, other subscription databases, show how content is being used while protecting an end user privacy, and hosted service eliminates overhead cost. The ProQuest current periodicals and newspapers. The ProQuest online information service provides access to thousands of current periodicals and newspapers, many updated daily and containing full text articles from 1986 onwards. It also provides the backfiles of archival material and expanding daily. They have digitized somewhere around 5.5 billion pages from their distinguished microfilm collections. The key features of ProQuest is e-journals can be browsed by title, subject, publisher, and issue number. It provides archives of current and past of full text, provides institution-wise license, concurrent multi-user access on campus, and email alert service, keeping on informed of new technological development and contents by providing table of contents, weekly digest alert, etc. And full text is available in PDF or Word HTML. EBSCO is a worldwide leader in providing the information access and management solutions to print and electronic journal subscription services. Research database, development and production, online access to more than 150 databases, thousands of e-journals, a full text open URL link resolver, e-commerce, book procurement. EBSCO has been serving the library and business communities for more than 60 years. Key features of the EBSCO is EBSCO database can be browsed by title in alphabetical order by subject. It provides full text details, information of its research database through an author's information editorial board. Full text is available in PDF and HTML. Contents can be browsed through keywords, author, subject. The portal site is updated every day, by ensuring the freshness and reliability of the content, and provides the author's address and email where available. Another platform is called Net Library, provides access to your library's e-content collection. E-content is the digital version of books, journals, and database content. You can access your library's e-content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Key features are like e-journals can be browsed by title, subject, publisher, issue number, provides archives of current and past full text, provides institution-wide license, concurrent multi-user access on campus, provides email alert service, keeping on date, informed on new technological developments and contents, and providing table of contents, weekly digest alert, new edition of e-journals. Full text is available in PDF and Word HTML. So in the conclusion, the emerging technology of e-portal undoubtedly in coming days will provide a significant move in achieving the realistic and reliable, affordable and acceptable, effective and efficient tool for retrieving, downloading the scholarly knowledge to the software engineers, technical writers, project managers, technical managers of organizations can use any log on their desktop. Moreover, with the use of e-portal technology, it has become possible to users to access any information object without having to know its location, format, or access the methods and similar libraries may share the information across the attached within the organization institutions with automated delivery system. The search interfaces provided by e-journals, e-books, etc. vary from e-portal or e-portal, which is very significant in retrieving the contents pinpointedly and exhaustively. Thus, users need to learn the various search skills of search interfaces to make the optimum use of e-journal and e-books portal. So these are some of the examples of the Wiley online library I have taken. You can see a meta search. The different categories were given. This is another example of Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology, where the distribution of the different published of online journals and e-books were given. This is another example of e-resource collections also, where you can see the leading newspapers, leading databases, leading e-books platforms, how they have been categorically, they have been displayed and all. And this is another example, which is a very interesting example of NYU libraries, which shows the global library services as a part of e-books, e-journals, and digital media. So these are some of the examples. So today's information is not discrete physical units like books or articles, but web of subjects without any clear boundaries, not necessarily stored in the same location. So relevant recent standards for identifying objects, digital and otherwise, are the serial item and contribution identifier code or a digital object identifier code. Schemes for persistent names for internet addresses have also been developed, and most notably, the OCLC's PERL, that is persistent URL system, and CNIS handles. So with that, we come to an end of the entire collections of the e-journals and e-books. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you.